Hello, welcome back to yet another video. My name is Scott and I like to make videos, and what takes me about, what did, this is the wrong script. Ugh. Shattered the illusion there, didn't I? Mentioning about a script. This isn't all just off the cuff. No, scripted. Anyway, on to the video. So with the legislation changes here in the UK, which were brought in at the end of December 2020, flying a drone is now a lot more complicated, shall we say. So much so, I recently sold my beloved DJI Mavic 2 Pro, and now I have this, the DJI Mavic Mini 2. Actually, is it the Mavic Mini or is it just the Mini? Because the box clearly just says Mini 2. Anyway, this was released in November 2020 and is the most recent incarnation of the Mini versions of their drones. So the reason I chose this drone, as I explained in a video up here somewhere, if you want a full-on rant, this weighs 249 grams and thus is not really affected by most of the limiting legislation. So let's start our new drone journey by unboxing it, shall we? And as always, let's see what we get in the box. In the bag, we have the drone itself. It really is mini. Also in the box, the controller, and the phone sits in the top there. Feels quite nice. And oh, there we go. And at the bottom is where the little joystick screws are. Also in our nice bag, literature, accessories, micro USB, USB-C cables, 5-volt adapter. Oh, that's cute. A little battery case with, which sit in like so. That's quite handy for storage, but also it's a charging case and charges via USB or USB-C right here. And what else do we get in the box? A USB to USB-C adapter. So it's remarkable how light this thing really is. Please use the propeller holder to protect the propellers when storing. Pops off there like so. Nice little touch. And then the legs fold out that way and then that way, the same as they do with all of the other drones that are made by DJI. So the batteries go in, down and out like so. And at the back here is our USB-C and a little socket for an SD, because this takes micro SD cards. And then obviously at the front here we have gimbal protected with some more stickers, and then literally propeller stickers to tell you how to fold and open the propellers. Very tiny, very small, very light. Some would say it's a mini drone. In addition, I also thought it pertinent get a few little extras. First little extra, these are the PGY Tech landing gear extenders. So when you take this out flying and you put it down on the floor, the base is going to be pretty much touching the floor. So these little legs here get a ton of clearage on the drone, so it doesn't sit in any of the mud or in the grass, and the propellers have clear space to take off. In addition to the landing gear, I also got this, which is just basically a generic strap. This goes round my neck, and then this connects to the controller. Slides on the top, and then this clips on there, and then unclip it when you're done. And last by no means least, the most important, ND filters, a filter combo for the Mavic Mini. And basically what these are sunglasses for the camera. And what that basically means is your exposure and your image, etc., is all gonna look nice. I can't really explain it without being really geeky. When I go and test it, I'll show you what I mean. So that's it, drone and accessories. So why did I decide not to save a few quid and go for the older Mini 1? Quite simple, really. The camera. The Mini 2 now films in 4K compared to the original Mini, which was only 2.7K, and also has the option for a 4x zoom. The sensor and megapixels remain the same from the Mini 2 to the Mini. Shooting modes. The Mini 2 can now do 4K. I spat then. The Mini 2 can now do 4K hyperlapses as well as panoramas, and also has an extra quick shot mode for boomerang. Flight time. Now this was the main reason for me purchasing the Mini 2, and that is it has OcuSync 2.0 compared to the original, which only has Wi-Fi transmission. And what does this mean in non-geek speak? Basically, I can fly the Mini 2 a hell of a lot further. I mean like a lot further. We're talking like 10 kilometers. And also the strong motors on the on the propellers on the Mini 2 means it performs much better apparently in strong winds and is faster at 35.6 miles per hour. And you get an extra minute of flight time, 31 minutes in total compared to the Mini 1. Now the only other difference worth mentioning in my opinion that is a negative is the original Mini came included with propeller guards, which as you have just seen, the Mini 2 does not. And considering actually this is so small and light, they would have been useful to have because I probably would be flying this indoor, but alas, they don't come with it. So it's an extra cost to consider should you want them. And there are lots on Amazon. So now that's all the textbook spec out of the way and the unboxing. Should we take it in the garden? Because remember, it's under 250 grams, so legally I can now fly in my garden. So let's go fly. Come fly with me, Sorry, I promise not to do that again. Come on. Flew it and it's good. It actually is surprisingly, although very light, handles the wind very, very well. It's not a huge gust today, but it's pretty windy and it handled it pretty darn well. I'm very impressed. Flying it is just basically like flying the Mavic Pro, the Mavic Mini or any other DJI drone I've flown before. It flies perfectly. The new control pad with the phone at the top is big. Don't get me wrong, it is big, but it's sturdy, it's solid, it feels nice in the hand, and I actually quite prefer the screen being at the top of the control rather than the bottom where it was before. Also worth noting, you don't fly it with the DJI Go app, you fly it with the DJI Fly app, which is basically a cut down version of the Pro app, so you don't get all of the features and quick shots that you do with the Mavic Pro 2, etc. But other than that, the app looks similar and it flies just perfectly. It flies exactly the same. So with my quick tests and flying it within a wet and windy day, I'm impressed. I like it. It was very quick to set up within the app. I only had one firmware update to do, so I was able to get it up and running and flying very, very quickly. And the batteries last forever. Wow, 30 minutes. Something else I'd like to mention is when I was getting ready to fly, which I didn't say when I unboxed it, was in this little zip here of the bag, you also get a ton of spare propellers, a screwdriver to undo and change the propellers, and, where are you? There you are, some spare control sticks. Bonus. But I was gonna go out over the field and film this, so I packed up the bag, and I must say, nothing wrong with the bag, it's good quality, I just don't like it. I prefer the old-fashioned bag, which is this from my original Mavic Air. Everything fits after removing the center part, which segregates it. Everything fits in here perfectly, so this is the bag I'm going to continue to use. So I don't know what I was worried about swapping from the Mavic 2 Pro to this. I haven't seen the footage yet. But it's 4K, the sensor isn't as big, so I don't expect it to be as perfect as the Mavic 2 Pro, but for a hobbyist flyer and to just chuck a bit in and out of vlogs every now and again, I think it's going to be perfectly fine. I'll update you in the comments below if I need to. And speaking of the comments below, if you like the video, don't forget to let me know in said comments below with your comments, questions or feedback, because it does help, because I'm sad and I like to reply to virtual friends that I don't really have.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
Anyway, don't forget, if you like the video, thumbs up will be great. Please do consider subscribing because it helps me out. I'm not quite sure how it's going to help me out just yet, but when I give up the old IT game and become a full-time YouTuber, it may do. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. I am going to have a nice warm bath because it is literally sub-zero. So goodbye internet, goodbye.
Throw this shade on me, like they all hate on me. Don't bring that rage on me. Why they throwing shade on me, like they ashamed on me? I thought what